At some point in our life, we all pray for our lost love to come back. But in most cases, what's gone is gone forever, be it a human being or a pet animal. But what if you find them again? What if they come back? What if life gives you another chance to live with them? Bo Balana spent years looking for his dog, Bosco, after he went missing. It seemed as if the unfortunate puppy had vanished from the face of the planet. But to everyone's surprise, Bosco again got to hear Bo's voice pleading for him. What occurred next will make you cry and warm your heart. Bo used to live in Westerly, Rhode Island since his birth. He was familiar with everyone there, knew every corner of the town, and cherished all the little but lovely things the town had to offer since he had grown up there. He had adopted Bosco when he was only a few weeks old, and the two of them resided there. The two became close over time, and Bo started to think of Bosco as his son. Bosco, a beagle mix, was an extremely energetic and daring dog. He was affectionate and devoted, and cherished spending quality time with his owner. The two would take long strolls while playing fetch with everything they might come across. Bosco would fly off after a ball or a stick because he enjoyed pursuing them. Then he gave it back to Bo, laid it at his feet, and anxiously awaited the opportunity to repeat the process. Bo and Bosco grew so close together that even the neighbors knew the dog by its name. People would wave to the guy and his dog as they walked down the street, saying, "Hello, Bo," followed by a "Hello, Bosco" to the dog. The dog and his owner were both integral parts of the little town in Rhode Island. But then a terrible thing occurred. Bosco disappeared, leaving no sign of him. Bosco hardly left the house alone, so the incident left Bo worried. The owner was distraught to learn that his pet dog had disappeared and was nowhere to be located. Additionally, the disappearance had an impact on the whole neighborhood. Bosco was adored by everybody. It was thus undoubtedly a blow to society as Bosco suddenly disappeared from the scene. Everyone came up to console Bo as he was in utmost distress. Bo was sent out into the streets yelling for his beloved pet Bosco within 10 minutes of knowing he was gone. Soon, the neighbors learned what had happened and they too went outside to assist in searching the streets for Bosco. Bosco had managed to escape the collar that was around his neck while sitting in the yard and playing with a stick like he did every day. The fence had a little opening in it, so Bo assumed Bosco might have left on his solo adventure to test the world. The problem was, it was very simple to get lost in that area. If you stray too far and weren't sure where you're heading, it won't be hard for a dog to be lost and confused since many of the streets look all the same. Bo and his pals devised an investigation strategy. Hundreds of posters using Bosco's image and a phone number were produced. In addition to sticking the posters on vehicles and trees near polling places, they would canvass the neighborhood and give them out to passersby. The dog's owner would hopefully be informed if they were recognized by someone. Bo visited the neighborhood animal shelters while the Springs were out in the community distributing the flyers and looking for Bosco. He did all he could in his power to find his dog. As he hurriedly traveled down the road, examining every cage as he went by, Bosco began to worry that maybe he had been spotted and sent to the shelter. But all went in vain. There was no doubt that Bosco wasn't there or at any of the nearby shelters. His next thought was to visit the police department. Bo may be able to make use of the police assistance to help find his unfortunate lost puppy. Bosco was like a son to him. He said everything from the beginning to the police about the dog and its disappearance. However, the cops didn't appear very eager to assist. Just because Bosco was an animal, they denied giving it any priority. Bosco was nowhere to be found, despite all of Bo's best attempts. It seemed that he had disappeared without a trace. Meanwhile, Bo was forced to relocate to Lafayette, Colorado from Rhode Island a few months later. His departure from his home shattered his heart, and he almost gave up hope of ever seeing Bosco again. He reasoned to himself that perhaps time and distance would heal his heavy heart. But he knew in his heart that this would not be the case. He was aware that the coming winter would bring another biting cold. Bosco would certainly freeze to death if he were outside in such chilly conditions. Bo was unaware that one of his buddies in Rhode Island continued to search for the dog. Although there had been reports of sightings, nobody had been able to capture the cunning and street-smart canine. Even though none of them was sure that it was Bosco, there was still a silver lining. After 2 years, Bo had begun to move on. Naturally, he missed Bosco, but he made an effort to put it in the past and stop thinking about his cherished dog. But this time, something happened that we call a miracle. Bo was completely taken aback when he unexpectedly got a message from someone in Rhode Island. "Hello, Bo," the Facebook message read. "I work as a police officer in Rhode Island. close to where you last resided. A few years back, I recall hearing a lot about your dog Bosco, who went missing. I think I caught a glimpse of him strolling through the parking lot, but I was unable to get near enough to see it. If I was able to, I'll get in touch with you again. All the best, Donna. Bo read the message many times as he could not believe his own eyes. He was unable to return to his previous residence entirely, so he had a fresh thought. With newfound optimism, Bo got in touch with Sheila Graham, a lady who spent her days working in Homeland Security and her free time as a pet detective. To Bo's great surprise, Sheila responded that she could assist him since she had a lot of expertise in capturing strays and lost pets. The first thing she did was install cameras nearby to ensure that the dog was there. She set up numerous traps and baited them with a variety of delicious goodies that any dog couldn't refuse until, after several days of waiting, she finally saw an animal that resembled Bosco. Steaks, fries, and even hamburgers were put inside cages that would close when the dog entered them. Even though Bosco was a hard nut and a difficult one to catch, Sheila was tenacious and indomitable. It took her a few weeks and included more risks than she considered. Bosco, though, matched the images when he was finally in her hands. It was a eureka moment. He needed a thorough trim and his fluffy coat was a touch dirty, but there was no room for doubt that this was Bosco. So she phoned Bo after she took the little puppy to the neighborhood shelter to be examined. Bo took the call in a nervous voice, but before Sheila could say a hello, Bosco let out a joyful and enthusiastic howl upon hearing Bo's voice over the phone. He was able to recognize Bo's voice right away. Bo could not believe his ears. He was happy to hear that Bosco had been located finally. His puppy had almost been abandoned, but now he was safe and well there. Their conversation over the phone was so touching that Sheila found it difficult to control her tears. Both Bo and Bosco expressed their gratitude to Sheila, but there was one issue. Bo was in Colorado, whilst Bosco was in Rhode Island. How could Bo retrieve his dog? Fortunately, that's where several neighbors and acquaintances pitched help. They all put in a little money to have Bosco delivered straight to Bo in Colorado, because it was a joyful moment for their town too. Within hours, sufficient funds were donated, and a week later, Bosco and Bo were finally reunited. At first, Bosco was hesitant and carefully walked up to the guy, but as soon as he caught whiff of Bo and recognized his odor, Bosco burst into joy, rushing up to meet him and kissing his face. In inexplicable joy and merriment, Bo promised himself and Bosco that he would never again let the lovely puppy escape his sight ever again. So, have you ever come across a relationship as intimate as Bo and Bosco's? After all that time, would you have given up hope of ever seeing your dog again? Please share your thoughts in the comment box below. As usual, we'd love to hear from you. We'll see you in the following video. Thanks for watching.